Well, Matt, the last day of the transfer window, a busy day for all managers. But come on to that in a moment. Firstly, tomorrow against Forest Green, and but first before any of that, looking back again at Tuesday night at Wickham, even a couple of days on, you must be thrilled with the way that went and the fact that we're in the last 32 of the Carabao Cup.
Certainly am. Yeah, it was important to get through and to win on the night. Made some changes to the team. Just shows that we're starting to get there. I feel a little bit with the squad and bodies coming back, and certainly it helped to have Harry Smith available again, and then a few others who haven't featured too much in recent weeks. So really pleasing start to the game. Got the goal early. Some really good bits of play. Really pleased with the first half performance. And as I was with the second half, in a slightly different way, we're very organised, very solid, and maybe sometimes, with the occasion and what's at stake in the second half, maybe you feel a little bit more under pressure than I do when I'm watching it back the next day. I suppose it helps when you're winning 1-0 and they're not going to score. Yeah, I felt we weren't as under pressure as I maybe felt on the night, and I felt that we actually looked really in control and defended really well. And they had a few crosses coming into the box, hit a post from a very tight angle, and a couple of crosses, a couple of set pieces to deal with. But other than that, especially the last 10, 15 minutes, we saw the game out really well, and had a couple of little moments ourselves with Amari Patrick. And yeah, as I say, very professional performance, a clean sheet, and got the job done on the night and through to the next round.
And I guess saying you made a number of changes, some of the performances, I guess, give you the sort of situation that you want of having now real choices to make in team selection.
Yeah, because as I've said to you before, previous interviews, I want that competition all over the pitch in every position, not only in case someone's got injured in that position and I've got an adequate replacement, but when both players are fit in that position, that they've got to really compete for that shirt, and when they've got it, they've got to make sure they keep it. So I don't feel I've really overly had that just yet, but now, as I say, with players coming back fit, great to see Jacko make his first start for us, and I thought he did really well on the night, so I'm delighted to have him really up and running for us now. And as I say, just use that as an example there. You've got the Players Player of the Year 2 years running, and signed Ryan Jackson from League One, and now they're trying to compete for that spot. So and that's what I want all over the pitch. So it was a really fine example of that, of the team and the squad and the players that played on Tuesday night, which now leads into what I've got to go and do tomorrow and pick that team and squad to hopefully continue and get another good result tomorrow.
You said before, in some ways it's not nice, but in other ways it's a good problem for managers to have going into tomorrow's games, to just decide who to pick rather than who to leave out.
Exactly. It's the nice but not nice headaches that the managers want. It's not the nice conversations you like doing. It's the worst part of the job for me. Is to go and do that. But as long as the players see how honest and the reasons for why they're not in the team, I think that as long as they respect it, that's all that matters. And they do, because they've got a great bunch of players and lads, and we know exactly where we all stand with each other. And you play well, you keep your shirt. Simple as that. So that's what I want, and I want that dilemma and me talking with the staff about team selection and who we're going to pick for the next game. And I want those problems to have to deal with.
Just before we leave Tuesday night, the third round draw away to Port Vale. There were some big sides in the draw, obviously, and it'd be nice to have got one of those. But away to Port Vale, what's your thinking on it?
Well, it's very similar to probably the previous two rounds, where we're not going to win the League Cup. We know that for sure. But what we do know is you want to try and use that cup competition, just like the FA Cup, to try and generate money for the club, which is vital, and to give the supporters, the club, the board, the fans, the players, the staff a memorable and a good day out, whether that be at home against a top Premier League team or going to a top stadium. But either way, that's what you're looking to try and do, and you sometimes have to work your way to get there. And we've had to play two League One teams previously, Cambridge at home, a very good Wickham side away from home, and now it's no different. Can we go and do a third time and beat another League One side? Port Vale respects hugely the manager and the players that they've got. It's a really tough place to go, really good League One side, but we've proved we can go and do it in the previous round, so we'll go and do it again, and then hopefully see where we're at when the next draw comes round. But it's a long way off now. I think we've got quite a few games now before we play Port Vale, so it's full focus back onto the league, and we'll worry about them when that time comes.
Just as a manager, is there a slight little bit in it that getting Manchester United or Manchester City would have been great, but it might have been a distraction for the next 2 or 3 weeks?
But it's as long as you can channel that distraction, if you like. That yes, what comes with that is an unnatural publicity around the club, players, me, staff, everyone of what is coming up. Now, as long as you can then just channel that distraction in the right way and keep the focus on the here and now, then it can certainly benefit you. I think with the feel good factor around the place and the excitement, as long as you certainly your eyes and taken off the ball. So as long as that's managed in the right way, then I feel it can be a benefit to you, and really give a good buzz around the place. But no disrespect to Port Vale, it's certainly not that. At the moment, in terms of a big stellar Premier League tie, and they'll probably be thinking exactly the same thing, to be honest. So, although they'll be pleased they're at home to a League Two side to hopefully try and progress as well. So, as I say, both clubs will be thinking they can win the game, but they'll certainly be concentrating on when that time comes.
I was going to say, as you said, there's a lot of football to be played before we go up to Port Vale on the 26th. Tomorrow afternoon, Forest Green. Last time we played them, they were right up the top and ended up winning the championship that season. 2 seasons on. Back in League Two, what sort of game are you expecting?
A tough one, of course, because you just look at the players that they've got and some real experience there and some real quality within their squad. Certainly a different Forest Green from when we played him in our first league season. It was our first game actually away at their place, but like you say, when we played them towards the end of the season, I can't remember how long to go before they actually. About mid-February, and they went on obviously to be crowned champions in our first league season. They've obviously had a couple of changes of manager since then, turnover of players, had the season in League One, but they're a club surely with big ambitions to try and bounce straight back again, to try and get to where they were last season. So, it's a good side, some good players. So again, as always, you're going to have to earn every point you get. But we just want to take that real positive performance on Tuesday night into tomorrow, concentrate on ourselves, and try and back it up. And now with a league win tomorrow at home.
And the mood going into the game must have been good after Tuesday night. Mood in training the last couple of days must have been a positive, really positive one.
Yeah, and it certainly helps when you win, and mood's certainly not changed at all. We know where we're at. We're working hard as a group. It's got a real feel of a new squad, and we're doing a lot of video sessions, a lot of tactical training sessions that are really trying to make everyone understand of the tweaks that I've made as a manager to the new lads, but also with the old players who have been with me, but to the new lads, them really understanding what I want and what we require to go and get results. And that's certainly not going to happen overnight. So that combined with those sessions, that's only going to improve us with time. And maybe they're feeling very similar, they've got a new manager and a new squad, and they're going to take a little bit of time to settle in as well. So still very, very early days in the season. But that's one thing I do know is our team spirit, our energy, our drive to go and succeed is as strong as ever. And Tuesday night really helps with that as well.
And talking about the squad going into the game, a couple of additions today on transfer deadline day. Dion Pereira and Dean Bizanis coming back to us, both on loan. What's the thinking behind those two moves?
Well, with Dean, obviously a player who did so well for us for 2 seasons, obviously winning the National League and then the heroics in the Papa Johns, and in our first season getting 76 points. But I just feel with the goalkeeping situation is very difficult because of emergency loan rules of what we can and can't do when the window is shut. That certainly wouldn't play into our favour, I believe. With the unfortunate injury to Steve Arnold, like I've just said previously in the interview, I want strong competition in every position. I want Brad House. I feel he's desperate to need to go and have a run of game somewhere. So I'll be looking to try and get him out on loan. But I wanted Steve Arnold and Jack Rose competing for the number 1 shirt. But unfortunately, with Rose coming off at half-time against Cambridge with a hip injury, it's probably not as bad as we first feared, to be honest. But still, we don't hope, he's had an injection this week. We don't hope he's going to be out for too long. But we still don't know exactly when he's likely to be fit, available and ready to try and get the shirt. So with that in mind, and with the window shutting tonight, I really have to cover myself in a vital position for the team, of course, which then also benefits Brad House to go out and get some games. So I felt I needed to sign a goalkeeper until January. There were certainly options out there from many clubs. A lot wanted those season-long loans or were asking for a fair bit of money. And when obviously the budget is tight, and I haven't got a lot of money to try and get a third goalkeeper in and release Brad. So we did a deal with Reading until January, and then we'll see where we're at in that position come then. But we wish Steve well, and we hope he, with his recovery, he really kicks on and he's back available as quick as possible. But what I do know in the meantime is that I've got two really good goalkeepers fighting it out for that number one shirt. And Dean for 2 years has been outstanding, and then Jack Rose last year and this season has been outstanding as well. So good competition, which is what I want all over. Then when you go on to Dion Pereira, someone who's Jace has known for many years and played with Ben Goodliff when they were originally in the Tottenham Academy, and someone who I've played against when he's been at his loan spell with Bradford. So it came about again when I just want four wingers in the building with Damani, with Josh, with Amari, and now adding that with Dion there. And I've got good options and good flexibility on both sides of the pitch. And with his quality and his experience, I'm sure he's going to really add to those three that we've already got in there.
And on the going out front, we just mentioned today with Toby Hogg now happily fit again and gone off to Bognor for a loan period.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate in the last week of the season that Toby got injured in training, and resulted in him, not being able to train all during the off season and missing all of pre-season. It's only been in the last few weeks that he's down back training and back up to speed fitness wise. So now the right step, and for someone his age and what he needs to go and do after a good loan spell at Salisbury at the end of last season is to go and play men's football again and have a run of games. So I know Robbie will look after him well down at Bognor, and we certainly keep an eye on that loan situation with him as well.
It was pointed out that I think he makes his debut in the FA Cup against Burgess Hill tomorrow. He'll probably have Jack Taylor in their lineup as centre-back as well.
Yep, that's true. That's very correct.
So going back to tomorrow's game then, hoping for a decent crowd and good atmosphere, and the 3 points to end. What if you take out the League Cup game? The league results over the last couple of weeks a little disappointing, but hopefully get back on the winning track tomorrow. Exactly,
and the support was on Tuesday night, and I said it to you after the game, but they were absolutely outstanding. So that get full voice right behind us tomorrow in a big game, of course. And the players are really looking forward to it. They'll be chomping at a bit, and hopefully the supporters are too. So yeah, we're really looking forward to the game.
And talking here at the moment, 4:15 on transfer window afternoon, is there like to be anything? You're looking at anything else? Or are you happy with your business in the window now? And
no, pretty much leaves us where we are. I've talked about the goalkeeping situation. I've talked about Jacko and Kizzy. Kizzy can also move into centre half to compete with Goody, Omar, Louis. You've got Robin Harty at left back there, and the four wingers I've mentioned. Just to go show the other night when you got your new signings Craig Clay and Christian Gesson performing so well there, with Eastie and Buteman not in the team on Tuesday night. So great options. And then with our firepower up top with Smith and Casket, O'Brien and Goal. And then you got your Casamus and Topes in behind that, really, learning and competing, and young lads trying to break into that four. So I'm really happy where the squad is at. It's been a long summer. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been a big turnaround of players, and it's been extremely busy. Hell of a lot of deals, agents, people you come close to, people you missed out on. And I will be, if I'm being honest, pleased when that window shuts tonight at 11 o'clock, because I know my phone will calm down, things will calm down, and I can then really get back onto the training. Not that it's been distracting, but as soon as you leave the training ground, you're constantly on the phone all night trying to get things done, and it's very full and long days, 7 days a week. But I know that big chunk of my job will now go with the window shutting, and then it's full-on training, improving us, making us a better team, a better squad, and improving everything that we do on and off the pitch to keep driving this club on. And I'm looking forward to getting my teeth into that come Monday morning.
And a couple you mentioned in that, Craig Eastman and Sam Hart, missing through injury at the moment. What's the latest update on them?
Yeah, both going to be struggling for tomorrow, but both not too far away. So we'll see how they are, and might even start training both of them next week. So we'll see where both of those are come Monday. Brilliant.
We wish you a quiet evening, and now the pressure. I hope nothing surprising happens towards the end. But thanks for your time as always, Matt, on Friday, and we'll see you at the Forest Green game tomorrow afternoon.
Brilliant. Cheers, Tony. Thanks a lot. Cheers.